Hey YouTubers, welcome to World Cinema Reviews. This is your host Frank Devent, and welcome back to Analyzing the Franchise. We're still talking Scream, and this time we're talking Scream 2. So made in 1997, this after, looking at the success that Scream had, it's only natural that a sequel will be coming out, and, the expectations were high. And when it came out, I remember that the reviews were fantastic. So I'm gonna go ahead and address the question that you guys are talking about. I'm probably thinking about. I remember that when the DVD came out, and a lot of people were saying, "Hey, Scream 2 was so great that it surpassed the original." And a lot of people, I think even the DVD cover, the original one. I can't remember. Was it? It said something like twice the gore, twice the blood, twice the best, or something. I can't remember exactly how the slogan went. But but thinking about it, is Scream 2 better than Scream 1? So I'm gonna address it right off the bat because I want you guys to know what my team is gonna be. Okay, Scream 2 it's a pretty good sequel. It has a lot of fantastic things in it, uh, and we're gonna talk all about that. However, is it better than the original? I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, no. I'm gonna say it's a good sequel, but it has some flaws, and we're gonna point them out. But first, we're gonna celebrate how good this movie is, and we're gonna talk about the plot, the cast. I'm gonna dive into Scream 2. So directed by the immortal Wes Craven, back in 1997, we came back with the cast that survived. By the way, there may be some spoilers here, so I'll put that in the description. Yeah, we got Neb Campbell coming back. Got David Arquette. We got Jamie Kennedy, and we got new interesting guys too. We got Jerry O'Connell. We got as you know as Cindy's new boyfriend. We got cool little cameo roles there. By Jada Pinkett Smith. We got a little role there for Heather Graham. We got we got the awesome Sarah Michelle Gellar from the Vampire Slayer. From Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't know. People are gonna kill me if I don't say that right. If I forget that, and so many other cool horror film as The Grudge, right? So we have really, really, really a lot of good stars, great stars coming back. We got great newcomers, and the formula for Scream 2, it's going right along, really cool. We also got, it's a story basically of, after the Woodsboro murders, are done. Courtney Cox characters, it starts, writes a book about it, and then a movie made staff, gets made, and draws attention that unfortunately a new copycat killer has come out. Then it's another who done it, because after the first murder, people start wondering, is it gonna come back? Who is it? Who's doing it? What are the motives? And then once again, are we going to suspect, the boyfriend like on part one? Are we gonna go with the crazy movie fan? Are we gonna go with the are we gonna go with Courtney Cox maybe being obsessed about making more money, and making a sequel book, and if she can revive the killer thing. or has other characters, or some of the newbies are have something to say. So basically, the plot is just that, you know it it's really cool because as a sequel, it kind of makes fun of itself. It also it talks about Jamie Kennedy's character, which I really like here. And trust me, this is a big compliment to Jamie Kennedy because I can't stand that dude, and in almost everything else he does. But in here, I love him in here. I mean, he's one of the characters that really makes me dive into the scary movies, and but we're gonna follow all that. But basically, it all revolves around another mystery. With some of the original characters coming back. Everybody's a suspect, and of course Neb Campbell right in the middle of it. Is she gonna die? Will she survive? And all that stuff. And let me tell you, this is well done. Let's talk about the good things that I like about it. Um, I really, really like number one. It's the right off the bat. It's the dark humor that he has, and the fact that he's self-aware. Right off the bat, the opening scene is amazing. Watching the premiere of Stab of the movie based on Scream, the fictional movie based on Scream in this movie, right? And the fact that Homer Epps and Jada Pinkett Smith, as the African American characters there, who are really making fun of the fact that, yeah, in horror movies, unfortunately, back in the day, especially, a lot of the black actors were the first ones to go, right? And Wes Craven takes full advantage of that, and have the very first two kills of this movie to be African American actors, right? And does it on a grand scheme in front of the screen of the movie theater with Jada Pinkett Smith. Has the mice. By the way, Jada Pinkett Smith is awesome. She's beautiful, and I love her literally in everything she does. And I'm gonna, which reminds me that I'm gonna do a review on Tales from the Crypt Demon Night pretty soon. I put everything on hold for doing Wes Craven films, so stay tuned for that. But the also for the Puppet Master franchise as well. I'm working on it, but after the passing of the great Wes Craven, everything's taking a backseat. So let's continue with this. So I love the beginning. I love how he tackles the stereotype. I love how he's taking the fact that most sequels are terrible, and Wes didn't want to do it. And you know what? He pulled it off. This movie's not terrible at all. It's actually pretty entertaining. It has a very complex plot, but it actually makes sense at the end. Another thing that I really really like is that the characters, they have themselves down. They're not acting any different than in part one. It does feel like they are part of it, and I definitely will say that Neb Campbell truly. There's a scene of the Greek theater when she's terrified by you know by the Greek muses there that are attacking her, and the Greek tragic faces, and she proves to me that she's a real scream queen, and awesomely casted by the awesome Wes Craven. Yeah, she just does an amazing job, and she's one of the strengths of the movie. Like I said, I really like the Jamie Kennedy character. Um, Another thing that I like is that the kills are pretty much on par. They're not over the top. I like the touch of humor on it. Like I said, the fact that he's self aware. Now, so we got pretty good acted. Great introduction. You know, cool killers. Everything's going well, right? However, we got a few problems here, and that's what we gotta go into them. Um, there's some characters that are not well written, or they're just maybe not great actors. one that really, really disappointed me, was Jerry O'Connell, and he is just awful, awful in delivery, awful in the way he is. He looks just, a good-looking boy, playing a thing, and I like him in other movies, but I don't like him here. He's just not very convincing. He's got that singing scene that doesn't help at all. That looks so out of character. It makes him just look, thing. And even when I just don't see the romantic connection. Like I could see the Billy Loomis connection on part one, but I just don't see him as as the being Derek, being romantic towards him. I just don't, and that's one big letdown. Um, okay, yeah, oh yeah, and don't, and like I said, there's spoilers, right? So you guys know spoilers. I like the fact that Mrs. Loomis, being one of the killers at the end, a good homage to Friday the 13th, of course, uh, to Mrs. Voorhees, being a female serial killer, and I actually do like that. But coming back to the negatives, yeah, I didn't think that. I still don't like Cotton's delivery, Lee Schreiber. This dude is so dry and so unconvincing on his acting. He is the one actor that, I mean, he's really hard to get. I struggle with him in other movies he's made. There's very few that I like. I like him on the Manchurian Candidate on the remake, which is maybe a movie we should talk about one day, but that's for another day. But yeah, there's some flow acting there. Also, if you're gonna bring Sarah Michelle Gellar, right? I mean, yeah, it's good that you're trying to homage the same thing as Drew Barrymore, but I don't think that that worked. I didn't like the way it went. I didn't like, it was too rushed, too quick, and too similar to part one. It's almost like they had to do it. It's almost like the same thing. They had to do two killers. They had to repeat that. It would have been much more subtle if it would have been something completely different. And they throw some characters to throw you off. They're so obviously so inept that they could never get to. I mean, I really like to be surprised, sort of like the usual suspects. Like you're stunned to find the killer reveal. This was not like that at all. And I remember, I can't remember 100% sure that I did guess the killers, but it's just not it's just not as good. So it's basically, in a way, it's, even though it has some clever ideas, it has an awesome beginning. Still, it's good, but it doesn't break into enough new ground to me to be better than the original. The other thing is that I really regretted the fact that they took out the geek character, of Jamie Kennedy. Him being one that the audiences could really relate to, all us horror fans, and by him getting killed, I mean, and the way he got killed, knowing all the horror rules and all the stuff. I know his baby sister comes back on the third place. Spoiler alert, and kind of phones in the his horror rules, but not a good move, not a good move to take that character out, on my opinion. And so to me, you have in on the scale of A plus being the best movie ever and F being the worst. This is a B plus. Still good, still innovative. I really enjoy it as a. I recommend it. It doesn't sound like it, but I just wanted to talk people down. I mean, this is by far no way as good as part one. In fact, let me change a little bit there. I think B plus may be a little bit too generous. Could be a B, solid B to B plus. So it's not a bad movie. It's still an enjoyable sequel. I mean, if you disagree, I mean, you're certainly welcome to. But I hope that you can hear my reasoning for it. I think it was just it recycled too many plot lines. It had introduced some characters that didn't add to the story and were really lousy actors. The cameos that you got, you could have used them way better, and you wasted them. So yeah, knowing all that, it's still a good movie, not great. In fact, I seen better sequels in in some of the ones mentioned in this film, like Terminator 2. That you can certainly argue that Terminator 2 is better than Terminator 1. Godfather Part 2 being better than Godfather Part 1. But I don't think you can make an argument that Scream 2 is better than Scream 1. However, I loved it. I remember coming out of the theater happy. I had a smile on my face, and I still do. So yeah, I was ready to see Scream 3, and we're going to talk about that in the next video. So please comment if you like the Scream 2 or you didn't, and let me know. I love comments, and please, subscribe, and expect a lot more. I have so much more Wes Craven planned, including some entries that are very unusual and obscure. Don't other than the continue with the Scream series, thinking about doing some movies that are much more that not people talk about them, and we're gonna keep analyzing to see if Wes is how Wes did it, and he did it his way, and he did it fantastically. So take it easy, be well, and see you in the next video, guys.